I'd like to present our first storyteller and friend, Sarah Vincent. Come on up, Sarah. Let's give her a warm applause.
Great turnout, Sherry. I love this. This is community coming together. So I've heard recently, too, that some people may not even think they know somebody on Medicaid. Sometimes you do and you don't even know. It's not something that people necessarily talk about on a regular basis, and they may look like you and me. My story starts when I was just turning 18 and I had my oldest daughter. We were on Medicaid. We continued on Medicaid until I kept working 3 jobs at some times to try and get by. We were able to make it enough to where when my 2 kids were a little bit older, elementary school age, we didn't qualify for Medicaid, thank goodness. We didn't even qualify for my child anymore, and my kids didn't have any health insurance because we couldn't yet afford the insurance my ex-husband had. So they were at the playground, I remember one day, and on the weekend, and swinging on the swings, and one of them hit their head on the side of the pole on the swing set, and I panicked because no insurance. What does that mean if we go to the doctor? What doctor do we go to? How, will they be treated, once we get there and tests and that, and how do we pay for that? So I just remember specifically, this is many years ago, because my youngest is now a graduate from college. But it's one of those things that parents have to go through sometimes. You have to choose. Do you pay your mortgage? Do you pay your medical bills? How do your kids get, help that they need if they get sick? So I remember being on the phone with some sports people that I knew, asking questions about concussions and what do I look for and how can I make sure she's okay and should we rush off to the doctors. Fast forward, I had corporate job. I was there for over 10 years, and then just a couple years ago they did buyouts. So I accepted that, and in that package, they said we would get our insurance, what is it? Cobra, thank you. The Cobra insurance, we would get that covered for 6 months. What I didn't know is that the government would then take half of that in that check. So then I was paying $600 a month for my daughter and I for insurance. Okay, we made that happen. But then that got cut off for me 6 months ago. I'm left without insurance. Go back to Medicaid because now I'm running my own company, but we're just getting off the ground. The profit really isn't there to start paying for insurance. I just started being able to pull in any kind of money after starting the business. So the plan is by the end of this year is to get us on our own insurance for our company. But in the meantime, I had surgery last year. I was still paying medical bills from being in the hospital for over a week. Then I had a medical emergency when I didn't have the insurance a few months ago. And it was so scary. I asked a coworker, I was working a second job, and I asked the supervisor if she could help me, if she knew if I should go to the doctor or that, because I could barely walk. And she said, yes, go to urgent care. It'll only cost you a few dollars. Without insurance, you'll be all right. So I get to urgent care, and I say, I don't have insurance, but I am in excruciating pain. And she says, you have got to get to the hospital. I think it's your appendix. And I cried, just like I did when my kids were little at the playground. What do? I just finished paying off from being in the hospital, a couple years ago, and now I'm looking at having to start all over, but now I have no money, no insurance, no money. So that's when I was able to get on the Medicaid, and they were able to help me out this time around. I'm just saying, you don't know by looking at somebody what their story is. You don't know what they're going through. But sometimes you just need that stepping stone to get ahead. I have no plans on living on the government. I've never had plans of doing that, but sometimes you just need that step up and that help to move forward. And in my plan, our business is to continue hiring. We have 9 employees right now, and we want them to be self-sufficient. We want to be able to help them with insurance. We want to be able to help them with a retirement, but we've got to get there. So we're working on that. We're coming up on our 2nd year, and we all work together. We can make it happen. We can help each other out. But this is not a program that should be just wiped away so the billionaires can do better. A lot of us depending on it.
Thanks, Sarah.